The other thing that I love that you mentioned was, people have this perception, and you spoke to this as well, and I'd love for you to build on it, that when you're a refugee or you're an immigrant, you're coming here with nothing, right? And you're building from scratch. And to a certain extent, that could be true for some. But we also come with some amount of privilege ourselves. I'd love for you to take a moment to just help people kind of level set on what it means to you to be a refugee, just the depth and breadth of that term, and how you're so much more than that. I'd love for you to just tell us a little bit about that for people who are maybe slightly uninformed about it.
I think it's exactly like you said. A lot of people hear the word refugee or immigrant, and it's immediately a very negative or low status, idea that comes to their mind. I did not come, from poverty. I had a comfortable life. Yes, we struggled like every family does. Yes, it was expensive to live in Abu Dhabi. Again, just like every family is living in Abu Dhabi right now. But it was not to a point where, I did not see the civil war in Syria. I was there the first year of the civil war. That was my last summer that I spent there. But it was still during the protesting time. So it was still during that civil stage. It was not during the actual war, like when the war actually broke, right? So like my cousin has seen it. My family has experienced it. My family have went through the trauma of being in a war for over 10 plus years, and that state of poverty and economic disruption that is happening there. But I was blessed enough to come here, and I don't think people understand the privilege of actually coming to Canada. Like being in Canada right now, that's a privilege that none of my family have. And that in itself is the biggest privilege I could personally have, because it means now I'm becoming a Canadian. That means I will never be fearful that I'm Syrian ever again. I will never fear that my government's not going to protect me. So that in itself, being an immigrant and refugee, is also a privilege in itself, right? Getting that piece of passport that protects you for life and gives you opportunity for life. There were some, of course, as any immigrant that comes here, there are some traumas that come with it, right? Like the separation from my father. That's we've been separated for 5 years simply because, coming here means that he has to redo his entire degree, even though he's been an architect for 25 years, has studied, has experience, has worked with some of the biggest people in Abu Dhabi, but still that is not renowned here. Right? And that means that we have to live a very different kind of life if he had come here with us. So that's a very big sacrifice. Coming here and building your life from scratch, even though you come with some resources and you're not, at the line of poverty, you're still building a new life. And that in itself is very difficult. That means you're building a new network. That means your network right now is zero, right? It's even in the negative. So you have to build a new network, you have to build a reputation, you have to build a name. People have to know who you are in your work, and it's people have to give you credibility. For people to give you credibility, they have to work with you for a long time. So you're already disadvantaged in that sense, where you still don't have that reputation or credibility. I never had a father to give me connections here or to give me a network. I never had a father to introduce me to someone. So there are those disconnects or disadvantages. But I wouldn't call them I would never look at myself and feel like I was in any way underprivileged, right?